Hare Krishna, everyone. Radhe Radhe. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga. Hope you're having a wonderful day, if it's evening or morning. We have a 7-11 program here. That means we go live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 11 a.m. So we're a 7-11 online temple, and we have our temple here. And this morning, we also have our morning program. So we were reading this morning from this beautiful book, Sri Guru Darshan. Plug. I spent 5 years compiling and transcribing the lectures of our disciples of Srila Gurudev, or the Vaishnavas. So it's a very beautiful book. Highly recommend it. All right. Anyhow, this morning we were reading because his appearance day is coming up. So as I go along, hope you can hear me okay. If you have any questions, I will respond as we go along. You can kind of make a question in the comments, and my assistant here will ask the question. So we're trying to do these as a collaboration, a conversation, you could say. I don't like giving boring lectures, so apologize if I'm perhaps appearing frivolous or joking. The point is that we should be engaged and focused in our path, and spiritual life isn't a tedious, laborious bashing of our, this and that. We should happily practice bhakti. Yes? Chandrika Mataji ki jai. No, excuse me. So the point here is that this is not like I'm not trying to do some boring lecture series here. The goal is, any questions you may have, they can hear okay, yeah? Any questions you may have, you can ask as we're going along, because I know people, you may only be able to tune in for a minute. And that's fine. You don't think that you need to listen to all this or listen to all, if you find this helpful, meaningful, if you have a question in your spiritual life, ask. I'm here hoping to be of service. That's it. Our process is hearing, speaking and singing to Krishna, chanting his names, and remembering and serving. And for me, the primary service is this process, hearing, chanting, remembering. So it's a conversation. So if you have questions, ask. We're doing this live stream 7-11 program. So any questions you may have, and no questions, even better. Then we'll just kind of get to go forward. We have all our beautiful scriptures in our tradition, so we will be going through those as a conversation, helping us grow in our spiritual life. This is my sadhana, my practice. My full-time occupation, how to be with Krishna, how to go to Krishna, how to serve Guru. That's my full-time occupation. So on that journey, practicing, we're trying to help each other out along the way. So, all right, we're gonna have a meditation verse today. All right, so maybe some questions will come up from the meditation verse. Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpana, se kale Krishna tare kare atma sama, se deha karitar chiranandamoy, aprakrita detar charana bajai. There's a verse from the Bhagavad Puran 11.3.6. Very, very important verse for us who are Krishna's devotees, for those who are aspiring to be Krishna's devotees. And, people say, well, who is your audience? Last night we had a class. Our audience is 6-year-olds, 60-year-olds, and everything above and below and in between. Our audience is the soul, the spirit, which is immortal, eternal. That is our audience, the immortal soul. So whatever immortal souls are joining us here, please accept pranams. We have a question. Okay, great. Just getting started. We got a question, please.
Katuriya Mayur, how to deal with problems we face in day-to-day life, like a job or business. Sometimes dealing with those problems takes us away from Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Kunti Devi, the mother of the Pandavas, prayed to Krishna in her prayer. She said, Vipada shantutha sasvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yashyad apunar bhava darshanam. May the calamities that have come upon me visit me again and again, because when I see those things happening to me, I am focusing my consciousness more on the absolute truth and my eternal spirit in Krishna. And by doing so, apunar bhava darshanam, I will not have to see this samsara, birth and death cycle occur to me again and again for millions of lifetimes. So in our path, we see that what we're practicing here is the sweet path beyond samsara. Those are the two sides. Sweet path means we practice Vraja Bhakti, loving devotion to Krishna, following the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan, where they have natural love for Krishna. They don't even revere him as God. That's a lower understanding. They have that incorporated in their life, respect, but really it's intimacy and love. So that's the sweet path beyond samsara. Beyond samsara is another important element of, it's the Eastern tradition, Sanatana Dharma. We are aspiring to go beyond samsara. So material problems help us develop detachment from this world. And if we focus on Krishna, then Kunti Devi said, if you focus on Krishna, even in these problems, it will help you go beyond samsara. So that's why we accept them, and as difficult as they may be, we accept them as our karma, and we meditate on God. That is our process. We accept them as our karma, and we meditate on God, and that's how we transcend samsara, because the cycle of birth and death is a greater problem than, it's easy to pass this off. Hey, you got problems. I'm going to tell you about your problems. We have problems. I have problems. Our transmission broke. Alas, what am I going to do with this broken transmission? We have a pickup truck, dump truck, and we take it and we take the garbage, the dump, and now I can only back up. So, I don't know if the cops will pull me over for backing up 20 miles or 12 miles on the highway. I don't know if it'll go 50 miles an hour on the highway in reverse. But what am I going to do? They have a saying, don't cry over spilt milk. But that doesn't mean don't clean it up. So don't cry over spilled milk, but you should clean it up. So you have to deal with the responsibilities, the burdens you face in this world. Put your shoulders back, stretch, and say, I am capable. I am strong. God is my strength. God is my capacity. You move forward with faith in God. This is our church. This is our temple. And my responsibility is to speak according to the essence of the scripture. So you move forward with faith in God and with prayer. That is all we can do. We can have faith in God and we can pray. And in Hindi, they have a saying, Mukh mein Ram Naam, Hat mein Ram Kam. In your mouth should be the name of God, and in your hands you should do God's service. That is our effort. So I hope that is helpful. Problems are always there. But the ultimate problem should be addressed. So should we go forward? Yes? Okay. Beautiful verse. We're not going to go too long on these. So again, anyone who's coming in, if you have any question, we'll talk about them. Meditation verse. Okay, at the time of initiation in this process of Vaishnavism, what does that mean? That means receive a mantra that is worshiping Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality, and it establishes your relationship with Krishna. And so when you receive that mantra from a bona fide spiritual master, at that time, it's said that there's a spiritual alchemical process that occurs. Spiritual alchemy. That's the real alchemy. How you turn iron into gold. And these metaphors, these examples are limited by mundane language, by material language, but they give us a hint, an understanding, an idea. So it's the process of self-transformation. So when you receive the mantra initiation in that bona fide process, in a bona fide lineage, and you accept the responsibilities of the student role, you accept a bona fide teacher who is able to care for you and guide you forward, at that point, you are offering your Atma in a way. It's called Atma Samarpana. It means surrender of the heart and the soul. And it is to God, to the divine will, but it's through the channel of his agent. That means his spiritual master. So at that time, then, se kale Krishna tare kare Atma Sama. At that time, Krishna makes you similar to his nature. Kare Atma Sama. This means he accepts you as his own and he brings you into your spiritual nature. That means I am soul. Everyone can repeat after me, please. Come on. I am soul. One more time. Chandrika Mataji, let's hear it.
I am soul.
Yes. Can I get some soul, please? All right.
Soul.
Yes.
Kanika Batra. I wanted to be more spiritual, but I'm going away from spirituality day by day. I'm trying every day to be closer to Krishna, but I'm not doing anything for him. I'm attracting more and more material things.
So your desire, dear Kanika?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you're having a good day, evening, if you're in India or wherever you may be. I'm praying to serve. So I would recommend to understand that worship of Krishna is a very easy process. And as you develop more and more, it's like education, okay? A child first learns how to roll over. I'm not a mom, but I'm a monk. So I'm a monk mom. But for the mothers out there, your child rolls over before it walks, and it walks before it runs, right? So in spiritual life, Krishna just says, look, okay, you can offer me a leaf, fruit, a flower with devotion, I accept. Okay, you may not have that capacity. You can develop some thoughts of me. The fact that you're joining this is evidence that you are practicing bhakti, Krishna consciousness. You're interested in Krishna. That's the beginning. That's rolling over. I'm interested in Krishna. Okay, how do you walk? That means understand Krishna is your friend. God is your friend. Our mission in Sanskrit is called Bhakta Bandhav. It means God is your friend. Bandhav means superlative friendship. God is my friend. Friendship. Guru is my friend. Devotees are my friends. With that faith in friendship, understand that Krishna wants to accept you in that relationship of loving friendship. So all you have to do is work with him in that process. We are bound within our attachments in the material existence, but we move forward in that gradual process. Krishna says, think of me, okay, bhava mad bhakto, develop the mood of devotion as a devotee, madhyaji, offer some puja, offer an incense. You can have a picture. You may not even have a picture in your home, but you can have a picture on your phone. It's like, every time, you know what I have? Okay, here's a hack. Okay, anyone ready for life hack? Maybe this will be one of our reels. Life hack. If you use Bluetooth headphones, okay? Anyone use Bluetooth headphones? I pray to God that I'm going to not have to use this life hack for much longer. My assistant here is going to be handling all my messages and things like that, of that nature. And this is my messenger. My japa beads are my messenger, and my Telegram, and my WhatsApp, and everything. But, sometimes if you use Bluetooth headphones, then it says, connected to, iPhone, whatever. Connected to this, whatever. Okay, so this is the hack. Go to your settings on your phone and say, change the name of your device to Krishna Forever. All right? And put a beautiful picture of Krishna on your screen like I am. I'm telling you a life hack that I'm doing right now. It's a practical life hack I practice, okay? So you have a picture of Radha Krishna, see? And we're going to see? All right? And then when I put on my headphones, it says, connected to Krishna forever. And then sometimes there's a delay and it says, connecting to Krishna forever, connecting to Krishna forever, connecting to Krishna forever. And then sometimes it says, connection lost. And I say, no, how to get reconnected. So this is a simple life hack. Absorb your thoughts at all, somehow or other, in Krishna. He is the most sweet. He is the most beautiful. He is the most all-accepting. He accepts any offering. So that is devotion. It's not a complicated process. As you develop more, okay, there's it's not a cheap thing to get liberation from samsara, and it's not a cheap thing to go to the spiritual world, but it is easy to start. And it's easy to continue. It's a simple process. It's an arduous journey, but it's a simple process. It's an arduous journey, but it's a simple process. That's why people criticize, bhakti, it's for women and children. People say like that. I say, what are you? It's like that itself shows a mentality that is going to inhibit your spiritual growth. Because the goal of life, I was telling, last night we had a program, I said, sell your stocks that are all about your big brain and buy the stocks that are all about your big heart. Okay, sell the brain, buy the heart. Bhakti, devotion. Then you use your intelligence guided by your devotion. Our process is not short on any level of wisdom, but there's book knowledge, there's school knowledge, and there's wisdom, and also there's divine grace and divine will. And when you are aligned with devotion, with divine will and divine grace, then your wisdom is infinite. We have a teacher in our lineage who was uneducated, who was not able to write a letter, but he was considered the most realized soul in India in his time because he was realized in God and his relation of pure love with God. So, sell the stock of your brain and buy the stock of your heart and let your heart be your guide. Chaitya Guru is the guru inside that guides you. Okay, so again, for everybody. All right, Haribol. Yes.
Katuriam Mayur again, Prabhuji, while chanting all sorts of negative thoughts creep in, how do you keep focusing on Krishna's name?
Great. So again, to everybody, please, I'm aspiring to serve here. And so I'm really happy that you're asking these questions. And my only aspiration here is to serve. If it's of useful service, you can pop in for a minute or two, ask a question, and let's try to serve. So, okay, let's do it together right now. Okay, reps. Life hack. Okay, everybody sit. If you're driving, be careful. They say in guided meditation, if you're a comfortable place, if you have no other obligations, peacefully, you can practice this. So take a deep breath, relax, and we're going to chant the Mahamantra together. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All right, everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Okay, now we're going to do that again and focus I know it's very hard. Nowadays, myself, we have the attention span of a goldfish, 8 seconds. TikTok. I'm like, God forbid, please God, protect me from TikTok. If I have one prayer today. That's why I don't have it. I have connected to Krishna forever. No TikTok on this phone. TikTok's fine. But the point is, depends on what you're, I'm not going to get into that realm. But what is your focus? Learn to focus your mind. Okay? So when we chant the mantra now, try not to be a goldfish. Mind. That means focus all your concentration, all your will on simply the sound of Krishna's name. They say the yogi, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the yogi should learn to focus his concentration on like a candle without any deviation. So we're going to practice this together. It may take years, but let's do one mantra together, only meditating on Krishna's name. All right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, now concentrate. Bring your consciousness to the center of your eyes, your third eye, and to your forehead. Concentrate on that space. Try to see a candle, a light there. Try to see that light, if you've seen a candle or a deep ghee lamp. Focus on it. And look at that light and focus on the light and the name of Krishna. That's it. For even one word, if you can do that, you can grow with that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Focus. One mantra, one round, one word, Hare Krishna, focus. It is supremely beneficial. Then for that time that you can focus, you tell your mind, dear mind, very soon you'll be able to be absorbed in all of these thoughts again. Dear mind, very soon you can think about all your problems, all your hopes and aspirations, all your dreams, very soon. But for these moments, I beg you, focus on the sweet name of Krishna. It is all auspicious. It is all potent. It has all potency, all power to give you whatever you aspire for. So for these moments, we'll do it one more time. We pray, dear brother mind, please listen to the name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is step 1. Step 2 is the beautiful form of Krishna. Step 3, the beautiful qualities of Krishna. And the ultimate step, the meditation on the pastimes of Krishna. This is how we focus our mind while chanting. And motivational speeches can be made for why you should not think negative thoughts. So I recommend you to think, I am the soul, I am immortal, I am eternal, I'm everlasting, I am part and parcel of the divine absolute truth, Sri Krishna. And if I have faith in Krishna, everything will be favorable for my growth. This is a mantra I recommend for people to meditate on. I cannot control my fate, but I can develop my faith. I cannot control my fate, but I can develop my faith. I'm not in control of the world. I'm not in control, ultimately, even of my local environment. To some degree, I can move to a different town, but your karma packs its bags and comes with you. Right? There was when I was a kid, right, there was this show, I think my parents, I don't even movie. It's a long time ago. I was probably like 7 or 8. I think it was called What About Bob? And he kept showing up, and this like really annoying guy, and he kept showing up and kept showing, you just can't get rid of it. So sometimes it's like that, you can't escape your fate, but you can develop your faith. All right? So, hope that's helpful. Now we have a question from Shri Krishna Mataji.
Is it advisable to think of Radharani when we're chanting the Maha Mantra, like the Hare and the Rama? I think of Radha Raman when I say Radha, Radha. But is it advisable to include Radharani in our mantra?
Yes. So as we develop our mantras, we meditate on Radha and Krishna, and we meditate as we become qualified on their beautiful qualities, their beautiful form. It's both Radha and Krishna. Radha is the counter whole. Krishna and Radha are counter whole, equal. So we meditate on both of them, their name first. Focus on the name, then focus on the form. You can have a picture or a deity. So you meditate on the deities, the form, then the qualities, and the pastimes. Another question? All right. So we're not going to go too much longer, but if how many people watching, you have anything you would like to do now? We can read more. Yes? All right. Yeah?
Yes.
All right. I felt like that was a lot. I don't know how much more I can digest. All right. Let's relax for a second, okay? So, we were talking, well, maybe we can get through this verse then. At the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders unto Guru and engages in the service of the Lord, Krishna accepts that person to be as good as himself. When the devotee's body is thus transformed into spiritual substance, the devotee in that transcendental body renders service to the lotus feet of the Lord. So there's many levels of this understanding. It's a very complicated, interesting, beautiful topic. In summary, the idea here is that to be a Vaishnava means to be a Vaishnava is to chant the Vishnu mantra, Krishna mantra, follow the sadhana, the practice delineated by the scriptures in accordance with the scriptures and as taught to you in a personal way by sadhu, by a saintly person, and by guru. And in that way you can progress. So in that process, when you offer your heart and soul to Krishna, at that time, Krishna accepts the soul as, in the Gita he says, Mamai Vangso Jiva Loke. We are already part and parcel of Krishna. So the spiritual process, it's called alchemy, but really that self-transformation is like a form of self-development. You're not creating something that is not existing already. Okay? Yeah.
Is this Srimad Bhagavatam session?
This is reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that is also itself from the Bhagavat. So really we're doing question and answers here, and we read a little bit and discuss, but mostly it's, people can pop on for a couple minutes, so whatever questions you have, pop on for a minute and then go on your day. So we're talking today about initiation, which means the process of receiving Krishna mantra and practicing the Krishna mantra. So the Atma is spiritual substance, but the body is material. And so the process of initiation is by which two things happen. Divyam jnanam yathodhadyat kuryat papasya sankshayam. Transcendental knowledge is received, and all impediments to your spiritual emancipation, your ultimate realization of your spiritual form is given. Two sides, diksha, divine knowledge, and all sin is eradicated, all anarthas, that means all ignorance. The root of sin is ignorance, avidya. So all ignorance is dispelled when divine knowledge is given. Now, which comes first? Okay, which comes first, darkness or the sun? Which goes first, darkness or the sun? Which comes first, darkness or the sun? First the sun rises, darkness goes. As the sun begins to rise, darkness starts to fade away. So in spiritual life, initiation means gradually the sun is rising, darkness is dissipating. So divya gyan, transcendental knowledge. What is that transcendental knowledge? I exist. My soul is eternal. It's eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna says in the Gita, na tvevaham jatunasam na tvam nemi janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyama sarvivaya matapuram. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor in the future shall I ever cease to be. I am unborn, eternal, primeval, ever existing. So knowing that we practice spiritual life, then Krishna says, oh, come to me. We are spirit, but we are living within matter. So the natural home of the spirit is the spiritual realm. So we are going to that spiritual realm and leaving the bondage of the material existence through our attachment. So we're releasing attachment, releasing ignorance, and embracing divine wisdom and divine knowledge by which we realize my true self. Kare Atma Sama. Krishna makes me like him. That means Satchidananda. We talk about this. Satchidananda means eternally existing consciousness and bliss. We are that, but then why are we experiencing suffering, temporal experiences, changing of bodies, changing of relationships, quarrel? Because that is now anitya, attachment to that which is temporary. So Krishna says, attach yourself to what is eternal. That is the spiritual method. By doing that, Krishna accepts you. You offer your heart. Krishna says, at that time I accept you. Se deha karitar chidanandamoy. That body I make transcendental. That means as you're practicing spiritual life, in due course, you will realize your spiritual nature of your soul, your identity, your name, your characteristics, your abode, your relationship. All these things will be realized. That is Swarup Siddhi, the perfection of the realization of your form. Then you become transcendental because that is the form, that is the real soul. The form of the soul, the identity of the soul is coming from the seat of the heart in this material cage. This body is a vehicle, this body is a cage. It's described to be like a bird cage, and the bird's in within, the spirit is within. So emancipation means letting the bird free, but in the meantime, we have this body which is a gift, and we use it as a gift. It's a miracle, miraculous thing. But there's a spiritual body which is full of transcendental bliss and knowledge. And so we are trying to realize that transcendental body by the method of receiving Krishna mantra, chanting the Krishna mantra, and practicing bhakti under guidance of the scriptures, the sadhus, the teachers, and the gurus. So, aprakriti detar charana bhajai. When you realize that swarup internally, which is the real form of the soul has personality, the soul has nature, the soul has identity, the soul has name. What is your name? Dear. That's why if you hear the Upanishads, the sages and their students, they will say, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, inquire into the nature of the identity of the real self in God. So what is your name? So therefore we take initiation to realize our name, our form, our identity, our relationship with Krishna. If that is your aspiration, you can also go to merge the absolute. You can also practice other methods. You can go to Lord Shiva, Kailash Dham, you can go to Lord Ram. There are many options. But if your nature is with Krishna, you'll go to Krishna. And that is through the process of Diksha. So, aprakrita dehitar charana bhajai, that transcendental body, aprakrita dehi, with that form, you can actually have relationship directly with Krishna. Now we are serving Krishna's deity, that is direct. We're chanting his names on Tulsi, that is direct. But ultimately, the highest sense, direct experience with Krishna means looking at him face to face. It's said that when you realize this is called Vastu Siddhi. At the end of this life, we pray, this body naturally will go. You see a snake. At a certain point, it gives off its skin. Or you see it, the point is that the body is a garment, a dress. Krishna says, Vasang shiranani yata vihaya navani granati naroparani tata sarirani vihaya janani anyani sangyati navani dehi, chapter 2. So this body is a dress, changing. But the soul is the real self. So we are praying that I will realize my soul and my relationship with God, with Krishna. That's through this process. When you realize that, that is first realized within, and then through the continuing process of sadhana, when you give up this dress, the next dress you get is a prakrita dehi, transcendental dress, vastu siddhi. That means you'll be born within the Lord's own abode, if that is your aspiration, as his friend, in a parental role, as in a conjugal role, but according to what is inherent or natural to you, and according to your desire also, you can move here and there. But really, it's innate. Swarup Siddhi. It's part of your nature. Yeah.
Avadut Maharaj said to me one time, he said, who do you want to be when you get to the spiritual world? And I said, I want to be one of Krishna's coward boyfriends. I want to be able to sit with him and have lunch with him and play and take his flute and play and hide. But then I said, I want to brush Radharani's hair. I want to help her put on her beautiful jewelry. And he goes, you could be both. And that just, so is that?
You want to know the both way in that situation?
Yeah.
So for you, it's a confidential topic, but sometimes the gopis will dress as cowherd boys to be able to play with Krishna in that relationship. But they are gopis. So the cowherd boys won't go and braid Radharani's hair and put on her garments. So if you want to do that, then that's the mood of the maidservants of Sri Radha. But those same maidservants of Sri Radha, when Krishna goes to the forest, they're very young, they dress as cowherd boys. On the day of Gopastami, when Krishna first goes to the forest, the gopis all dress as cowherd boys. Radha dresses as a cowherd boy. Sri Radha herself, on that day we get to see her lotus feet. So she dresses as a cowherd boy and she mingles with the other boys, and then when Krishna relaxes in the afternoon, sometimes they will come and ask for the service of massaging Krishna's feet, of sitting and eating with him, and it's a game they play. It's a game they play.
Thank you for that.
Right?
Yeah.
But the cowherd boys cannot go and bathe Sri Radha, dress Sri Radha's hair. That service is exclusive to her maidservants. Right?
Okay. And again, on that note, the soul, they say, is eternally female. So how do I understand that?
This is a language barrier. Okay? We think of female as organs and male as organs.
Yeah. Okay.
According to our reproductive organs. That is male, female. spiritual nature of the soul is not about just reproductive organs. It's a higher identity. So the point here is that the soul is called prakriti. Vara prakriti, the higher energy of the Lord. So it's, again, these concepts, if we are thinking in material terms, we will not really be able to understand the highest truth. So we have to transcend this consciousness, identification as male, female. We have roles according to those genders, of course, but that's not the main point. The main point is that it is ultimately transcendental, and our nature is to give happiness to Krishna, to serve Krishna's transcendental senses. So that is described in this world like a feminine quality. You understand?
Okay, I see.
It's described as a feminine quality.
There still are
Right?
males and females in the spiritual
Yes,
world.
there are males and females in the spiritual world, but it's it's described in that way because even Krishna's cowherd boys, their nature is to please Krishna.
Of course, yes.
And Krishna in their reciprocative relationship. He is the ultimate Purush, the only male. That means he is the only object of all his devotees' offerings of love. Krishna is described to be Lila Purushottam, but Purushottam means the highest personality, the highest Purush. He's Purushottama. Purush means male. So he is Purushottama, the highest male. That is what it literally means, Purushottama. And so all devotees, now I have a male body, he has a male body, female body. That's all just a dress, an outfit. We're trying on, it's all transgenderism in this world. Everyone is transgender. Very controversial, okay? The point is that the soul is spirit, it's fixed, particle of divine consciousness. But we're always changing our dress. That's basic reincarnation theory, not theory, truth. It's basic reincarnation. We're changing our dress. So we wear a female dress, we wear a male dress. We shouldn't get too hyper focused on that aspect of our being. We have roles and obligations according to that. But the spiritual dress is something transcendental. Sometimes in the spiritual nature is liberation. So I want to talk a little bit about liberation. In the liberated planets beyond samsara, you think of it as, okay, we have the material universe and it's of the nature of darkness. Only light is where, it's like the rays of the divine energy come into this world, the sun. That's a particle of the divine consciousness, the effulgence of the Lord. But for the most part, when the sun's not there, it's dark. Or you have to have some artificial light, which is energy, which is a transformation of the sun. The spiritual abode is self-luminous. Natad bhashyate shuryo nashasham. Krishna says in the Gita, that is self-illuminated. So the idea is, in that reality, it is not bound by matter or material considerations. In that abode, in the liberated state, the spirit is free in its expression. Sometimes you may think, like the gopis, they may think, oh, I would like to be a flower on Krishna's ear. I would like to be his necklace. And that they can experience that rasa, that relationship with him. Right? People say, oh, what about the fruits in the spiritual world? Krishna eats the fruits. What happens to the fruit? It's all transcendental consciousness. It's not temporary. It's not, oh, Krishna eats it and he has to pass. That's all material understanding. The spiritual state is nothing is matter, nothing is material, nothing is dead, nothing is inert. It's of the higher nature. The nature of darkness, the nature of light is different. So tamasama jyotirgamaha, go from darkness to light. So in that realm, the Vaikuntha devotees, the associates of the Lord, are able, oh, I want to be a bird, to sing for the Lord. We are able to sing very nicely, but what if you want to experience singing as the most beautiful, cuckoo? You can take that, and it may be, momentary. But you naturally will have your eternal form, your natural spiritual form, but those things may adjust. All right, so we're coming towards the end of our talk here. If anyone has any final questions, or we will end with a little kirtan. All right, bring the mridanga. So it's been very nice being with you here in our 11 o'clock session, and we'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's been a great honor, and I look forward to trying to do some service again.